Yeah, so I have to admit, I was never interested in signs before I came here. I've been here for about a little over 2 years now. Found out about the place. I had known about it for years, I guess, but when I applied for the job, really started getting interested in it, and yeah, it's kind of grown from there. The museum was founded by one person. His name is Todd Swarmstead. He used to be the editor and publisher of the Sign Trade Journal.
I'm Todd Swarmstead. I'm the founder of the American Sign Museum. I spent probably a quarter century or so on a magazine called Signs of the Times, which is again a trade magazine for the sign industry.
It's a magazine that has existed for well over 100 years, and it was actually started in part by his family. So his family has been writing about signs and sign shops and sign technologies for over 100 years now.
The museum is actually what I call my midlife crisis project.
First opened its doors in 2005. Spent 7 years in the Walnut Hills neighborhood of Cincinnati before we moved to our current location in 2012.
I spent a lot of time in sign shops around the country. I saw them throwing away stuff, stuff getting scrapped, pictures in drawers. So I do have an interest in history. I took a lot of history in college. So I was interested in establishing a sign museum because there wasn't one anywhere in the country. So that's basically how it came about. We catalog all the items in the museum, and it's not just signs, but we have a library of books and literature like old catalogs. We have artwork, blueprints, we have tools and equipment. There's more than just signs in the museum, but if you want to know about how many signs we have about 600 signs. About half of those are on display, and that can range from that McDonald's sign I was talking about that weighs 2 tons and is 26 feet tall, all the way to what we call a POP sign, which is a point of purchase sign, like a small sign that would be inside a storefront. So there's a great range in those 600 signs from small to very large. So I kind of believe in vibes. It seems like if I'm chasing a sign, if I really want a sign, the more I chase it, the harder I work at getting the sign, the less likely it is to happen that we acquire it. As soon as I quit chasing that sign, it shows up in my lap. There was our huge McDonald's sign out here is a good example of that.
McDonald's is our kind of place. It's such a happy place.
The owner of the McDonald's had called me up a while back and asked if we'd be interested in buying the sign because they were going to move. And I said, yeah, I'd jump at the chance to buy that sign.
It was free to us. It came from Huntsville, Alabama. It cost around $30,000 to move it to Cincinnati. So that is the one that we probably have the most money invested in. We actually poured the concrete floors of the building around that sign, so if we ever sold it, I don't know how that would happen, but that is probably the most valuable sign in the museum.
McDonald's, a total value that's unmatched anywhere.
McDonald's is our kind of place. It's such a happy
I have to say the Earl Scheib Globe has got to be up there for amongst my favorite signs, as well as our 1960s Big Boy for sure. The Earl Scheib sign is definitely the one that has possibly the coolest story. For one, it is from Compton, California, and it has a nice big bullet hole running right through it. So it's from the birthplace of gangster rap. It's been shot before. That's pretty good. The sign itself is for Earl Scheib, which was a very cheap place to get your car repainted. Their slogan used to be "Any car, any color, 1995." And it was one of the very few signs that we did have to repaint in the museum. We really tried to avoid repainting the signs, and that was one of them that had to. So we had the cheap repainted sign and the sign from the birthplace of gangster rap that had been shot. You add those together and you get easily the coolest backstory for one single sign. What do I do on a day-to-day basis? I do a lot. We don't have a lot of employees here, so I am running a cash register, selling tickets. I give a lot of the tours here. I schedule group tours and field trips. I will sometimes work events. We rent the museum out for weddings and birthday parties and holiday parties. So I will either be working those or setting up tables for those, redesigning our website, running all of our social media platforms. I get to do a lot, which is exciting. So,
my role here at the museum as the founder is not a very ivory tower-like position or responsibility where I sit in an office and direct. I'm pretty hands-on. I don't have a normal day in the sense that today I was doing recycling from a party last night, changing the letters on our changeable letter sign. People come into my office, the shop area, ask questions. I take them in the back and show them a few things there. So I don't really have a typical day. Like I said, I'm pretty hands-on. It can vary a great deal from working on a 5-year business plan all the way to sweeping the floor. When I first started working on the Sign Museum and people asked me what I was doing since I had left the magazine, I say, I'm working on starting a sign museum. And they go, oh, a science museum? I go, no, signs. They go, a sign museum? Well, what the heck's in a sign museum? Well, and then some people thought it was a sign language museum. And I would get all kinds of weird responses when I said sign museum. But once I got the museum open, people are amazed at coming here. It's a walk down memory lane for a lot of people, and it conjures up memories from the past. And generally those memories are good memories. Like if you walk around the museum and kind of hang in the background and listen to people or watch people point at things and they go, oh, I remember that sign. And again, it's always this good memory.
My name is Megan. I'm from Connecticut and I'm out here visiting my friend who goes to Xavier. So my name's Marley. I'm originally from Connecticut, but I go to Xavier University.
My name's Laurie Ray and I'm from Rougemont, North Carolina.
I love it. I think it's really fun. It's really exciting to see all the different signs and colors. I like it. I think it's kind of cool. I don't know, it's like a look into the past.
I'm impressed. It's really cool to see the history of it and to see how it evolved and all the signage and just to see familiar signs from when I was young.
I like the pop sign because it's like the white sign with the white background. I think it looks really cool. I like the big globe with all the cars going around it. I think that was a lot of fun.
I like the styles from the early 1900s so far. I haven't made it through the whole museum, but so far that's my favorite because it's enduring and it's very evocative of that time.
Yeah, I definitely think people should come and check it out. It's really cool. I think everyone should come see it at least once.
I really think it's very cool, and I think it's a fun collection of our past.
I have to say my favorite thing about working at the museum, it's hard to narrow it down to one. One, I love the people I work with. I love my coworkers and the founder of the museum, my boss. Everybody who I work with is really, really great. But I gotta say, probably the number one thing is the fact that the museum is small but growing and growing quickly. It is moving very, very quick, and I love that, being a part of something that is still growing, still developing, and I get to help chart its future. So.
Signs are everywhere. It's hard to even in a rural area to not see signs, but people never think that someone's got to design that sign, someone's got to create that sign, whether it's painted or whether it's electric or whatever. Someone's got to install that sign. So what happens when people come to the museum is they have a new appreciation for the people that make, install, and design signs. So if a person comes to the museum and leaves here with a new appreciation for the craft of sign making, then we've accomplished our mission.